there she is. Final resting place. Now comes the fun part. Get the radar on, night vision camera on, loading it up with nothing but the best Durbright lights. Oh, welcome back to another day of getting the boat ready. If you didn't already see, we have a nice new mast to put on the boat. We'll be mounting that today. We did some pre-drilling. Got the radar's mast holes drilled. We're gonna mark out the holes for the mounting on the roof. I'm gonna mount it today.
Could be close. Full mat anyhow.
Alright, got the mast on, cocked it, cocked the bottom of the plate. I'm gonna put this plate back up, and then, as you can see, there's some caulking coming through the hole. I'm gonna do that. Put it on that back plate, and then crank it down. And then what we're gonna do is kind of build a piece of pipe to come up, take some of the weight of that off, just to ease on the roof. We were shaking it and the roof was kind of moving a bit. I don't think it would cause an issue, but rather be safe than sorry. So back up on the roof. Now we gotta start running wires for all this stuff. Radar, camera, and that's a light. But we're not gonna do it yet. And that's our ankle light. And then eventually we'll move our VHF and AIS antennas up on this. So probably gonna do a clamshell somewhere in that area. It's just the easiest way because we don't have much room to get our wires. Just the way Garmin has their radar set up, not much room to run the wire down through here, because on the bottom of that radar there's a flat spot right in line with this, so can't run our wires down there. So I'm doing this. Here we go. It beeps when it turns on. Screen's gonna go away eventually, but we'll do the full size of this. This is a 7/8 hole. Got the hole drilled. We have it staggered. Obviously we don't have a massive huge hole drilled in it, so this will go first. I'll be able to grab it at the base of this mast. So here we go. With the power cord, you gotta cut off the fuse. Not a big deal. Set it aside with your connection for your radar. Made a hook on an electrical snake. Grab it. There she is. Not for the hard part. Oh, there she is. Alright, I got it. Yeah. Whole bunch of slack's gotta come down. I'm just gonna let you feed it. Yeah, I said I'll just let you feed it. You push it down. Never season up the bolts. Garmin sends you some never seas. The other thing we're gonna do is dielectric grease our connections, because I don't want to have to deal with corrosion. So a little bit goes a long way. Just a little dab of it, smear it over the pins, and you'll be good to go. So don't be a fool and use dielectric grease. So dielectric grease. Put a dab. Just a little dab. Just work it in with your finger. Same thing on the power cables. A little dab. A dab will do. Smear it in. Smear it in. That's all you gotta do. Perfect. Slapping on bolts. That's going through there. Like I said, we'll fill that full of 4200 UV, just because that stainless is gonna get cooked and nice and hot in the summer. So fill the heck out of it with that stuff, and then screw the clamshell right over. That'll be good. And now I don't really have to worry about water getting in that way. Like I said, it was the easiest way to get into the mast, unless we went in through the side over here, which we weren't really in the mood to do. We wanted to try to hide the wire the best we could, and it's kind of the best option for what we got. There she is, bolted up. I'd say my biggest issue with that is the little paths that the wires run through. They only give you one plate to help secure the wires in, so when we were trying to bolt it down, the wires slid out of that little trough that they give you. So, and there's that square piece in the center which restricts you to either going out the sides, way up front in here, or coming out the sides or the back. Or so Garmin, clear out the center so we could drop, you know, anywhere in the middle of that. There you go, filling that hole. Plenty of 4200 UV. Like I said, I don't know if the UV makes a difference. People say it does, but we're definitely doing it because that stainless plate's just gonna heat up and cook whatever's under there. So like I said, that's why we went with the UV instead of a typical 4200 or a typical just a sealant. I wanted something that was going to be stiff. So there you go, nice and full. Nice and full. I don't think anything's getting in there. I'm going to fill in the clamshell as well. Couple more things. Psionics, night vision camera. Obviously, it's a basic anchor light. And then, not today, but in the future, once we get everything, all these other projects situated, we got tons of dirt bright lights we're gonna put on. So, look forward to that video. Dirt bright lights, best in the game, hands down. All right, she is. Cock the hell out of it and sit her down, cock the hell out of up in there, send it on down. Camera's mounted. Time for the nice ankle light. Of course, we drilled a tiny hole because we're trying to make sure water doesn't get through there, but we'll do the best we can. goes. Slide them down. I made one black's longer than the red, so it slips in a little easier. That's where she'll sit, right there. Boom. Cock the hell out of that, and then obviously everything else, so she don't leak. Well, get all the wires ran. The only thing down ran through the mast. Now I gotta get them down into where my electronics and everything else are. My biggest concern is trying to get this through the bottom end of this tube, and I have like a, I don't know, inch and a quarter PVC pipe that I gotta get through, and I got a Garmin network switch. This is where my radar is gonna go. For those that don't know what it is when you have multiple Garmin products, you can land your transducers there, your radar's there, camera's there, whatever, and then split out and hit a whole bunch of different places rather than run all your wires to the back of one radar. One multifunction display. You hit it here, and then you can jump out and hit 3-4 multifunction displays. So that's the game plan. Let's get to it, I guess. Hoping for the best. Fingers crossed. Just trying to get these wires here cleaned up. So, oh no, I gotta cut that one. Forgot those wires. Of course. Well, actually, you know what? I can do this instead. But like I said, the hardest part is just making sure your wires are all cleaned up and ready to go. It's so many to run back down. 3 of them as of now. 3 new ones. So hopefully it goes. I just hope it goes easy, but we'll see. We'll find out shortly once we get it rolling. A little nervous. So I ran a 200 pound test, pull string to get down there. So we shall see if it'll go relatively easy. I might do 2 at a time, I don't know. So, gonna try to pull this by myself, but I don't know. It's gonna be tough. So what I'll probably do is tape up this end pretty good, maybe tie a couple half hitches around this. Hopefully she goes down. I don't know. Like I said, I really don't want to rip off the end of this because it's not gonna make it easy to have to I could do a Cat 6 end on this, but I'd prefer the factory end just because it's what already exists. And like I said, being an electrician, I've made thousands and thousands of Cat 6 ends and all that good stuff, but factory's always better. I don't care what anybody says. Factory is usually better, I should say, not always, usually. Here we go. There goes everything. Just gotta make sure you get that plastic lined up good. Throw in the hole. It's gonna be inch by inch. Inch by inch. Got the head down through there. I'll show you kind of what we're dealing with. Tied on another pull string. We'll get another pull string tied on. There's the head. It's not horrible, just trying to get the head through what's a relatively small hole and at the right angle. So, alright. So there's my new pull string. Otherwise, so what I'll do is I'll tie this back on and I'll send it back through again. Now I gotta get it through this pipe. hopefully it goes easy. The wire was kind of wrapped around these wires up in here at first, so a little bit of a pain in the butt. So see what happens. It's going all right though. Going all right for now. All right, got the tip ran everywhere. Now I need to get all this slack. See, I got it through without having to cut it. I still have the night vision camera to run, but that should be relatively easy, so I figured I'd do that last. So gotta get as much of the slack down here, and then get it all nicely wrapped up. We'll go from there. So, kind of cut through the chase and got rid of all the boring stuff, but got all the wires ran down. Time to neaten them up. 50 feet or whatever. I think these kits come with like 50 feet of cable. I could cut the power cable, but I don't know. Don't really care to. I'll just coil it up neatly, stuff it down out of the way, down in here, and we'll go from there. Alright, my power cable's together. Landed my, I know it's dark, but landed my network cable on my network switch. And I still gotta run my night vision camera cable through there and clean it up. But it's getting dark. Tomorrow's another day, so that's a wrap for the day. I'm glad I got those wires ran. Obviously, would have been quicker with somebody else, but it is what it is. So, still gotta run wires to get 120 volts to a 120 volt panel out of my inverter, and then 120 volt circuit up to the refrigerator and like the little galley we got here on the boat. That way we can have toaster, microwave, refrigerator, whatever. And that's a wrap. So, all right, tomorrow we'll be back at it.